Hi and welcome, this is Jennifer McGuire. Today I have a product release close-up video showing you the new Essentials by Ellen products. These are only available at ellenhudson.com. In addition to showing you the new products, I have a few cards that I'm going to do at the end of this video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. This is a small but mighty release, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm hoping that by doing this video, I can help you decide if you want to purchase any. I know sometimes it's hard to see a bunch of great products on the screen, but not really know what to do with them. Hoping this is helpful. First, we have the Otterly Awesome stamp set. This is a tall set, so there are a lot of images in it. What I think is great about this is there's two big things. One is the sentiments. There are many sentiments you can put together here that are very clever. I encourage you to take a closer look at those sentiments. The other thing is the coordinating dies that you can also get. They cut the arms for the little otters, so you can tuck things into their arms. You'll see later in this video, I actually tuck a little heart into his hands, but you could actually put the baby otter into the bigger otter's arms if you wanted to. So a lot of fun things with that one. Now there is also the swing and slide die set with this release. Slider cards are very popular right now. I like that this has some that are straight and curved almost into a complete circle. So you can use the otter with these slider dies, or you can create whatever slider cards you're interested in. At the end of this video, I have a few cards using this Otterly Awesome stamp set. And keep in mind, you can tuck anything into his hands, maybe a little party hat, a heart, a cupcake, anything you want. So you can make it any occasion. You could even tie a balloon onto his hand. That's something fun about stamp sets like that. Now this stamp set is a regular size stamp set. This is Otterware. These are things that you can use with that otter stamp set, but I also feel like it can be used on its own. You got the great seaweed and ocean waves, a lot of cute little images that can be used with any fish stamps you may have also. And even that wreath that is a heart shape, you could stamp that repeatedly on the background to get a beautiful soft background. A lot of ways you can use this, not only with the otter images. And of course, there is a coordinating die set available for this too. Next, we have the Oh Dear stamp set. This is such a precious stamp set. There are 3 deer in it of different sizes, and I like that because you can use them together to create like a family on a card. And there are a lot of different sentiments on this, so you can use it for many occasions. I think the buck up on the bottom is really fun, and then just lots of friendship sentiments also. I have a card featuring these at the end of this video also. Next, we have the Spa Day stamp set. There are many images in here that can be built up to create different cards. So you have the little face mask that you can put on the face, the cucumbers to put on the face. You can build a little smoothie or drink with the images on the top. So you can use these for a variety of different cards. There are coordinating dies available for this, which are really fun because they cut that little mask out so you can easily put it on the face. Really like how the Essentials by Ellen's team kind of thinks through these dies and makes sure that the dies are really useful, not just cut out the stamp sets. Along the same lines, we have the Make It Beautiful stamp set. There are lots of fun makeup images in here. You can do tough as nails with a nail polish. A lot of different ways to team these up, but what I'm excited about is the Hello Gorgeous and Beautiful that you can stamp on the outside of the card, and then the Inside and Out that you can put on the inside of the card. It's just a great way to make an encouraging card for a friend. It seems lately that's the type of card that I'm making the most, cards just to let a friend know that I've kind of got their back, so I'm excited when I see stamp sets that fit that. It would be fun to use mirror paper on the compact image, and then in the nail polish you could use maybe the Tonic Nouveau drops to make it have a realistic look. This is the Mirror stamp set. This goes along nicely with the last 2 stamp sets I've shown you. So it's got the large mirror image on the top. But again, what I really am excited about here are the handwritten sentiments on the bottom. They're all encouragement. You are beautiful. You are worth it. Yes, you can. Go be brave. Great for those encouragement cards that we need to send so often. Here we have the Mirror die set. This goes with that mirror stamps that I just showed you. Now you can use them together or separate. You can put mirror paper in the middle so it looks like a mirror, or you can just use these dies on their own to create like a kind of graphic looking background, or even use the circle for a slider card that just spins round and round. Now the hinged thanks is really fun. So this cuts the letters but keeps the left edge as a hinge. So you can kind of pull the letters up and put some colorful paper behind it. You can put a little dot of glossy accents along the hinge so it stays kind of popped open a bit. Or there are many creative ways to use this. You can cut along each of those hinges to make a layered card. There are going to be a lot of fun examples of this in today's blog hop that this video is part of, featuring all these new stamp sets and dies, so be sure to check that out. I don't have these, but I wanted to tell you they are included in this release. The sparkle die and stamp set, they are sold separately. This would be fun to use with all the sequins that you may have, or say you're trying out those distress oxide inks and create a bunch of fun backgrounds, add some sparkle on top, and then you have perfect sentiments and a die set to go with it. A lot of ways that you can use this using all the bling that we all seem to collect. And last but not least, we have the Wonky Backdrop stamp set. This is a large set with a lot of great images in it. Now these I know sometimes throw people off because they're not sure how to use them, so I'm going to show you a few examples today. But I really think backdrop stamp sets like this are great for helping make clean and simple cards because you can just put an element right in the center and you're good to go. A lot of different things here that you can build up in many ways. You can make balloons out of the circle. You can make a night sky out of the stars. I'm going to show you some other examples today. But this is one of those sets that I think can be used so many ways. So first up, I'm going to use the set to create this Yes You Can stamp card. Now I used the border that I think was probably meant to be grass, but I used it as raindrops. So I'm using my Misty here. You could use an acrylic block if you wanted to. It really doesn't matter. I have a piece of white cardstock here that I'm going to go ahead and stamp on. So I'm lining up the grass or raindrop border die along the top of the card, and then I'm going to close my Misty onto it. I have a magnet here to hold it in place, and I'll ink up the image with soft pool ink. It's a really light blue color, and I'll stamp it once, and then I'll just shift it up a little bit. I'm shifting it up about 1.5 blocks on the grid paper each time. You can shift it as much as you want. I'll ink it and stamp it again, and I'm going to keep doing this until I have a background of raindrops. Now, if you don't have a Misty, it's just as easy. Put this image on an acrylic block and just stamp it over and over below each time, and you can get the same effect just as easy. Okay, so now I want to make room for an umbrella and the little bunny that I created. These are from some older images from Essentials by Ellen. They're called the Bear Wear stamp set. I went ahead and stamped them and colored them very quickly with Copic markers. Nothing fancy at all. I'm using some temporary adhesive to glue that little umbrella in place so that I can stamp next to it. So I just have the raindrops falling around it. I did switch to an acrylic block instead of the Misty because it seemed easier to stamp around the umbrella. Okay, so I went ahead and used foam tape to glue my umbrella and bunny into the open area. And I stamped the Yes You Can from the Mirror Mirror stamp set right there in the open area. And I glued this all onto a black note card. Kept it very simple, but here you can see how you can use some of those fun kind of graphic looking images to create a background. And I think it's fun that I use some new and old stamp sets together on this. And remember, they're all linked below in the YouTube description. Okay, so here we have 2 Otter cards, and I did different techniques on the background. I wanted to show those to you. Again, I'm using that great Wonky Backdrops stamp set for this. I like that these big elements on here are great for creating kind of a focal point on a card, or you can stamp them repeatedly to make a border or a background. Today I'm just going to do the center focal point. So I'm inking this up with soft pool ink and stamping it, but I'm only inking like the top portion only. Now here I'm in with the Antigua ink from Hero Arts. I kind of ink towards the center of the stamp, and I'm dabbing away some of the ink from the top and the bottom, and I'm stamping that. So I'm overlapping these colors, but I'm going to get kind of a variation of a soft pool to a blue at the bottom. Now I am double stamping this because I wanted it to be super vibrant, but you don't have to. These inks would smooth out and dry out on their own over time. Okay, so now I'm coming in with my last color towards the bottom. This is the cornflower blue, and I just went ahead and stamped that too. And look at that beautiful variation of color from the top to the bottom. So you can use these backdrops in many different ways. Now I wanted to show you a variation of this. The card on the right is done a little bit differently. It's hard to see in the video. But what I did is I first stamped that little wonky backdrop with white pigment ink. This is Hero Arts Unicorn White. So I'm inking it up really well, and then I'll stamp it. You won't see it. That's okay. Just going to go ahead and stamp it, clean off my stamp, and then I am going to shift the stamp a bit. I could have shifted the card in the MISTI, but I didn't think of that at the time. Instead, I'm shifting the stamp down a little bit, so it's offset just a hair, and then I'm going to do the exact same stamping that I did on the last card. So what will happen is that white pigment ink will kind of show through a little bit and soften it in those areas. So you just get a little more interest in this little backdrop piece that you're creating. I think it's fun to take geometric or graphic looking images like this one and do this offset stamping with white pigment ink because it creates a cool look. And if you look closely, you'll see like how it's softer where the white was, and you get a really neat look, and it works great for waves for this little otter. Okay, so all I did to finish these off is stamp and color the little otters. I used Copic markers. And then I went ahead and used the coordinating dies to cut them out, which cut the little hands so I could tuck a little heart inside. I love that you can tuck different things into his hands for whatever occasion you need. I also used some sentiments from that Otterly Awesome stamp set, and there we have some simple cards with a fun little backdrop of waves using the wonky backdrop stamp set. Okay, so I wanted to show you another example using the same background image, but for a completely different card. This one uses the Oh Dear stamp set, and this time I'm kind of using it as grass or hills, so I'm just flipping it upside down. So I have my card base in my MISTI, and I'm inking it up with lime green ink from Hero Arts. By the way, any inks would work for these techniques. Then I'm shifting my card in the MISTI up just a hair, just a little bit, and I'm coming in with a darker green. This is Pine ink from Hero Arts. I didn't stamp it so well the first time, so I'm going to double stamp it. So I get those layered colors of the light and the dark green. I love how fast that is to do. Then I'm using a little glitter pen just to add some accents to that backdrop. I stamped the little stamp from the Oh Dear stamp set, colored it with Copic markers and die cut it and glued it to the center. And then I used some of the sentiments from that same Oh Dear stamp set below it. In this photo, you can kind of see the glitter that I put on the green background, and I also die cut some tiny hearts to add. I did put tiny white gel dots onto the deer. I felt like it kind of gave it a little more interest. And on my second card, I did kind of a variation of color, like I showed you on the otter cards earlier, and I used a different deer image and sentiment. I want to show you one more card example before we go, and that's the You Are Beautiful card here. I wanted to use another stamp from that wonky backdrop stamp set. That name just cracks me up. This one does kind of some messy dots. I used a Post-it note to mask off just one row of dots at a time, and then I stamped that onto a top folding white note card. I found this is a really fast way to just stamp various parts of an image only, so you can get a rainbow of colors like this. So I'm just using Post-it notes here. You could use masking tape or even just a piece of scrap paper if you wanted to. Just mask off the areas that you don't want ink and then go ahead and stamp it. Now if you don't have a MISTI, that's okay. Just look through the acrylic block to line it up each time. After I was done, I used some glitter Nuvo drops on each of the colors just to add some interest. And I die cut a Lawn Fawn heart for the center and used one of the mirror sentiments for the bottom of the card. I love how simple it is, yet I really think my friend will like it. Okay, so there you have a closer look at the Essentials by Ellen newest release, along with a few examples of using backdrops for a focal point on your card. If you're interested in the products, they're always linked below in the YouTube description, but go to my blog. I'll have more information and photos there and a blog hop celebrating this new release. In the middle are more videos that might be of interest to you. I appreciate you stopping by and hope you have a great week.